Rabbits are cute, fascinating animals, and they are easy to care for. But we shouldn't take them lightly, as they can be sick. They can get sick like any other animal. So today we're going to be talking about rabbit diseases. We have to understand that rabbits are prey animals, and by being prey animals, they usually hide their illness. They don't want to look sick, so make it a habit to do regular checkups or routine checkups. Just check your animal for any irregularity. The first thing that we're going to be talking about is overgrown teeth. Overgrown teeth, we are basically talking about excessive growth of rabbit teeth. This teeth or the front teeth of the rabbit, they continually grow out through the life of a rabbit, but the normal processes of eating whatever hay and other stuff which are hard, that thing on its own helps to reduce this overgrowth of the teeth. This constant grinding of the teeth, it reduces the chances of having a rabbit with overgrown teeth. So for you to prevent this condition, you have to make sure that you give your rabbit high fiber diet, you give your rabbit hay, you give your rabbit hard stuff like wood, any pieces of wood. You can get some twigs, give to your rabbits so that they can have something to chew on. You can also look for something like pine cones and other hard seed pods which are edible. Just give to your rabbit to chew on or to grind on. And also other fruits or the hard shells of different types of fruits, including baobab. And the rabbits may eat it or grind his teeth on it when he's bored. So you can also make toys using the stuff that I talked about. So you can hang on the cages, you can hang in your rabbit setups or your hatches for the rabbit also to play with. If the rabbit is not constantly chewing on this stuff that I was talking about, we will now see the rabbit's teeth continually growing quite bigger, forming spikes which will eventually pierce through their cheeks or damaging other parts of the mouth, including the tongue or the palate inside the mouth. And also these rabbits now, because they have a very long teeth, they will not be able to pick some food, they will not be able to drink water, hence causing GI stasis leading to starvation and death. You have to be able to tell that your rabbit has a problem well in time if you are a responsible breeder, and if you have a good program of checking your rabbits. If you don't have it, you may miss some of these things. So do routine health checkups in your rabbits. They are sensitive animals. If well taken care of, they won't bother you with many diseases. The incisors at the front of the mouth can, in severe cases, grow in and round in a curl, meaning rabbits can't close their mouth or eat at all. Once rabbit stops eating, their gut stops working and they can die. GI stasis is a deadly condition in which the digestive system slows down and stops completely. This causes a buildup of bad bacteria and bloat, further decreasing rabbits' motivation to eat or drink. And the clinical signs that you may notice, or the signs and symptoms, include drooling from the mouth, overdrawn rabbit, weight loss, poor self-grooming, overgrown or deformed teeth or broken incisors. Behavioral change, e.g. grumpiness, firm swellings around the head, below along the jaw lines, and just below the eyes, due to the drainage of the lymphatic system. So you may have those swellings in the body. And now prevention. Prevention is always better than cure. So you can prevent this condition by making sure that you do regular checkups or assessments of the rabbits. You will be able to tell that the rabbit has overgrown teeth before it causes any problems, and then you can decide what to do with that rabbit. Second thing, as a prevention, make sure that when you buy your rabbits, you ask if they have any condition, if the parents had any condition, if there are those traits from the parents. If you have any of this problem in any of your litters, make sure that you cull that rabbit. Don't be fooled by the weight and other good traits that you see in that rabbit. Since this is a negative trait that we don't want to keep in our rabbit traits, make sure that you cull it. So cull and cull hard. Don't try to sell that rabbit to someone else. Don't try to sell that reject to someone else, because if you have any condition which will kill your rabbits and you lose all your rabbits, where are you going to get your stock? So sell good stuff to people, sell nice quality breeding stock to people, with the hope that when you need anything from them, you will buy confidently rather than selling rejects. Diet is also important. About 80% of the diet has to be fiber diet. Include fiber in their diet. Give them hay, give them lucerne, give them some branches of the trees like mulberry. They are edible, and it's good for any type of animal that you may keep. Also some hard shells of different fruits or vegetables, some bushes. If you are trimming if you are trimming your plants, or if you are pruning, just drop off those things to the rabbits so that they can have something to chew on. And lastly, the other things, do have a plan of routine assessments of your rabbits. Check weekly or twice a week. You are going to check for different types of conditions. Pastorella is caused by Pastorella multicoccidia bacterium causing snuffles. I believe I pronounced it well, Pastorella multicoccidia. It can be transmitted from a sick animal to another through close contact. So snuffles is one of the common diseases which can strike your rabbitry, or which can strike your rabbits. Almost every breeder or any rabbit lover has dealt with a condition sometime, because it's, like I said, it's very common. It's very common, and it spreads from one animal to another. If detected early, it can be treated, but if left untreated, it can cause a devastating effect, or it can be fatal. Strains of this bacteria are commonly found in the nasal cavity of the rabbits, and they may not cause any problem until the rabbit falls sick or until the immune system is compromised. That's when now they will cause the disease. So as for signs and symptoms, the most common one is sneezing. That's persistent sneezing. If your rabbits sneeze quite a lot or persistently, that could be a sign. Since this bacteria is irritating the nasal cavity, it will cause sneezing and excessive production of mucus. And rabbits are hygienic animals. They like to clean themselves time and again, like cats. So by constantly trying to clean themselves or to groom themselves, they will keep wiping off that excessive mucus produced from the nose using their front paws. So persistently doing that will now cause their front paws to become sticky with mucus, also the area around the nose. And the eyes will also be reddish. You may have some squinting, and also you may have some discharges from the nose. You may also have some discharges from the eyes. So prevention, the most important thing is reduce overcrowding. Make sure that your animals are not crowded. Give them enough space to run around. Give them enough space in the cages. If you are making cages or if you are caging your rabbits, make sure that they have adequate space with good ventilation. Ventilation is very, very important, because if you have nice ventilation, you won't have excessive growth of organisms or excessive growth of microorganisms. Some people use fans in their rabbitries. You will have a fan the other side of the rabbit which blows air into the rabbit, and at the far end you will have another fan or another extractor which now pulls air from inside outside, creating a current which will continually pulling air, drawing air inside and putting it outside of the rabbitry. So that on its own will also help to reduce the growth of microorganisms in the air. So you should also quarantine your rabbit, because if the animal is sick, or if your rabbit is sick, you bought it without showing signs and symptoms, it may end up showing those symptoms or those signs when you get to the rabbitry. So giving it some days. If it's sick, it will show. If it's not, take it to other animals, let it join others. And also wash your hands after handling sick animals before you go to other healthy ones. If you have visited someone with rabbits and you handle those rabbits, take off your clothes first before you go to the rabbitry. Wash your hands so as to reduce the chances of taking some germs from different rabbitry to yours. You should also reduce stress in rabbits, because we all know that stress compromises the immune system. So a rabbit with compromised immune system will easily get sick. So treatment, make sure that you take your rabbits to the vet when they are sick. When you have a condition like this one, the vet can make a nice diagnosis and give a treatment plan. Generally, they are treated with antibiotics. Prolonged treatment of antibiotics, it can go up to 7 to 14 days to 30 days depending on what's used. And since you are giving your rabbits a prolonged antibiotic treatment, you have to make sure that you supplement the beneficial bacteria in the body, because prolonged antibiotic therapy or treatment, it will also affect the good bacteria in the body, including the normal flora of the intestinal tract, and that on its own now poses the rabbit to some infections like fungal infections. There has to be balance between the fungi and the bacteria in the body. Those are beneficial ones. I'm talking about beneficial ones. So prolonged antibiotic treatment may cause that imbalance. So for you to fix that, you have to make sure that you give your rabbit beneficial bacteria. Talk to the vet or go to any vet store or feed store. They will help you with things like probiotics. Antibiotics are commonly used include enrofloxacin, ciprofloxacin, trimethoprim sulfur, trimethoprim sulfamethoxone. It's not only limited there. These are some of the antibiotics which may be used. The doses and the frequency, you can get those ones from someone who understands these medications. So if you buy these medications from over the counter in agri stores, ask them how the medication is used. Also, there are leaflets inside the medication, so make it a habit to read what the leaflet says or what it requires. Prevention. Snuffles is very contagious and difficult to treat, so prevention plays a very crucial role in trying to control and eliminate this disease. So also, as part of prevention, when choosing rabbits to buy, make sure that you get the healthy ones. Make sure that you don't get the ones which are sneezing, as to reduce chances of getting a sick rabbit. Ear canker or mange, I'm not sure if it's mange or mange. Let me just call it ear canker. It is a condition of the rabbit's ears caused by the ear mites. It is a very common parasite of rabbits, and it occurs worldwide. The mites irritates the inner lining of the ear canal, causing oozing of the serum and eventually causing a thick crust inside the ear. If you are doing routine checkups, if you have a plan of checking your rabbits if they are sick, and when you see that crusty stuff, make sure you treat it immediately. Don't wait until it covers the whole ear, because it can now spread to other parts of the body. Remember that these are mites. So some signs and symptoms. Include intense irritation. You will see your rabbits constantly flipping its head, scratching the base of the ear and inside the ear quite a lot. So if you see those scratch marks in the ears, maybe the right time for you to check if there is anything inside, if there is something inside. More severe signs include twisting of the head and spasms of the muscles. We also have crustings and scrubs down the ear canal. The rabbits also may resent you to touch them, especially if you like lifting them by the ears. That can cause pain, and it's not nice to hold the rabbit like that. Just hold the rabbit like how it's recommended. Grab the rabbit using this thick skin between the shoulders. That's how you hold the rabbit. When you pick the rabbit, you pick like that, and make sure that you support it using your other hand. You don't just lift it like that and walk a very long distance or just holding like that, so that it doesn't have to hang for a long time. It becomes very uncomfortable to the rabbit too. That's why sometimes they scratch us. I have scars all over my hands, because handling the rabbits is a risk by itself. But who's going to give us risk allowance? Ear mites are not serious, but if left untreated can lead to a bacterial infection which can enter to the middle ear and inner ear, causing head tilt, loss of balance, wobbliness, even fatal meningitis. For prevention also, you should make sure that your rabbits are not overcrowded. Overcrowding rabbits causes problems, but when you reduce overcrowding, you reduce the problems that you may encounter. The other thing is to quarantine your rabbits, quarantine your new rabbits to prevent any infestation if your rabbit is already sick from wherever you are buying it from. Also, the other thing is to isolate sick ones to prevent the infection to spread to other animals. Reduce stress as EMI's population tends to increase when animal is stressed up. Reduce dust, clean up the cages, provide clean living conditions. Sanitize your cages, spring cleaning once a while, and after treating a sick rabbit. Protect them from extreme temperatures. For treatment, the first thing or the most important thing is to take your animal to the vet. Medications likely to be used include ivermectin and enrofloxacin and moxidectin injection. So mild infections can be treated with ear drops. You can use cooking oil or any oil, olive oil, any type of oil to soften up this crusty stuff in the ears. Don't try to pull that crusty stuff. Don't be tempted to pull it out because it is very painful to the rabbit. So use oil, any type of oil, 2 drops or a spoon, let me just say a spoon per ear. It will suffocate the mites. This oil might help by suffocating the mites. Also by moistening up this crusty stuff, so that when the rabbit keeps shaking his head and scratching out the ears, it may take that crusty stuff out. Coccidiosis is a highly contagious and very common sporozoal infection in rabbits. It affects primarily young rabbits. In severe cases, symptoms are diarrhea, loss of flesh, pot belly, loss of appetite, rough. The liver may be spotted and enlarged, and there may be small hemorrhages in the intestine. Infection of this condition is spread by orophycal route. The oocysts are shed in the feces, and they can contaminate water and food the rabbits eat. So coccidiosis is a parasitic illness caused by microscopic parasites which attack the intestinal system and liver. So this is one of the main causes of death in young rabbits. So the signs and symptoms of this condition now here is that the rabbit may be hunched over or look hunched over most of the time, weight loss, decreased appetite, diarrhea, lethargy, or the rabbits will look lethargic, and depression. So for prevention, make sure that you clean your rabbit regularly. If you are caging your animals, make sure that you clean those cages regularly. And since it's spread through fecal-oral route, make sure that you keep your rabbits dry most of the time. If you are caging them, make sure that you use self-cleaning cages. By self-cleaning cages, we are referring to those cages which will allow urine and droppings to pass through down there, and then you will clean from the bottom of the cage. Just make sure that they don't stand in urine and their droppings most of the time. Avoid overcrowding and poor nutrition. Also reduce stress. For treatment, some manufacturers of rabbit pellets, they include this coccidiosis in their formulation. Also, there are some sulfur drugs which are effective in treatment of this condition, including sulfamethacin, sulfamethaxine, sulfadim, sulfaquinoxaline. There is a whole range of anti-coccidial drugs on the market. Some are more effective in poultry than in rabbits. This is why some farmers lose a lot of rabbits even after having administered certain antitoxins to their rabbits. As I said earlier, rabbits are just like cats. They constantly groom themselves. Rabbits groom themselves almost constantly, so their stomachs are often containing hair. Hair chewing can be a result of boredom or a deficiency in diet. Providing toys and increasing fiber in their diet by giving hay often stops this abnormal behavior. You can also give them some wooden toys for them to grind on. It will help them to reduce their boredom. They will have something to chew on. So keeping them busy also helps, especially when they are in small spaces, especially when they are caged. The hair becomes a problem only if too much is consumed and it builds up in the stomach. If this happens, the rabbit loses appetite, it reduces eating because of that distension of the hair ball inside the stomach. Because of that discomfort, the rabbit will reduce eating and may even stop eating at all or just eating a little. So that on its own will cause the rabbit to become sick or to look sick, and also the rabbit may not eat or drink. Some will only drink water and not eat food, so they will starve, they will lose weight because they are not eating. So basically that's I had for you. I wanted to talk to you about these conditions which I just talked to you about. We will be dropping some more videos soon. If you have been following quite a while, quite a lot, you would have realized that we talk about rabbits most of the time, but things are about to change now. Hit that notification bell so that you don't miss extra content which is coming. We're going to be talking about gardening. We're going to be showing you our gardens. We're going to be showing you some mistakes that we made in our gardening journey. We're going to share with you our gardening journey. We're going to share with you our chickens. If you like this type of content, consider subscribing to our channel, as this helps the channel to grow. And also hit that notification bell so that you get notified every time we upload new videos. Thank you very much for watching, and see you on the next video.